course, these decisions on the last 3 weeks, imposing tariffs on China, Canada, European Union, and all US partners. Uh, these have negative implications on the political relations between the US and its partners in the international community, especially the neighboring countries Canada, Mexico, and even China, and as well as the European Union, as we have witnessed in the summit in the Brussels. In Brussels, they promised to have a serious response to these reciprocal tariffs, which will, as we are going to witness tensions in the relations between the US and the neighboring countries and other countries. Trump announced that he will postpone these tariffs for a month, and we still see concerns regarding the implications of such tariffs between the US and the entire world. Trump has taken a lot of accelerated and rushed decisions that would not keep the political relations with the entire world, and would have a lot of implications in the future between America and its friends in the international community. These decisions and the procedures are taken even with Japan, which is surprising because Japan has a very good relations with the US.
Yes, and one of the things, obviously, we've just been talking about, of course, is this press conference with Narendra Modi from India. And although it was a friendly press conference, Trump, of course, mentioned the $100 billion trade deficit. Could this be pretty bad for India?
India is being harmed a lot because they think that such procedures during the upcoming period will lead to a further deficit in the trade balance. India has focused on joining different other economic blocs, including BRICS. These things will lead to a further inflation in India and the United States. In the near future, India will also witness a decline in the software and the computing techniques field, as they play an integral role in giving the US a lot of software related products.
Okay, and let's move on to the EU, shall we? That's one of Trump's main targets, and it's a regular target that he comes back to. How do you think Brussels is likely to respond to Trump's tariff threats today?
We're starting to see tensions between the US and the European Union, not only regarding the custom tariffs to be imposed on the European products, but also he wants to warns the NATO states to increase the military spending, which was met by a complete rejection. Even the Minister of Defense of the US said that they want to keep the partnership. The Trump proposition was met with a lot of anger and rejection from the European Union, and we're going to witness a lot of decline in the US-European relations during the upcoming period. Even President Macron is advocating now for a European unified force to face the US tariffs. So we're gonna see a lot of new procedures taken between the two sides.
And of course, one of the things that was mentioned in the press conference with the Indian leader Modi was this doubling of US-India trade to $500 billion by the year 2030. How realistic do you think that is? And what sectors might be likely to drive it, drive the growth, if it's possible?
The US already desires to have more relations with India and South Korea to serve the US interests, to be able to face Russia and China. There will be preferential agreements between India and the US during the upcoming period. The US now needs to handle this tariff problem to have better relations with India, especially in the field of software and computing products.
And what do you think the key challenges might be faced by both countries when it comes to negotiating a trade deal?
It will be very difficult to reach an agreement in the near future. This requires a lot of negotiations between India and the US to change the Trump positions towards his partners around the world, whether in India or Europe or the international community, and as well as the Arab world. I think we're gonna see a lot of long, extensive negotiations to improve the relations of the United States with the rest of the world, to change their traditional way of handling things, especially regarding the tariff situation, which will require a lot of understanding on Trump's side.
Well, one of the things that Modi did to try to impress Trump, perhaps, was to promise to import more oil, more gas, and more defense equipment from the United States. Yeah, is that significant?
Of course, this was very important because there is a high degree of the US taking control of the Indian relations to fight Russia and China, and trying to tempt India into getting into establishing new projects in cooperation with the United States, which will require a lot of agreements between the two countries.